To the pupils, staff, and any parents joining us, a very, very good morning to you. It is Monday, the 11th of January, and I hope that you had a good weekend. It was a beautiful sunrise here at Shiplake, and I hope that you managed to get wrapped up at the weekend and managed to get out into the fresh air. And I know that Mr Bowden is going to speak to you in a bit about our Strava challenge and how well lots of you got on over the first weekend of term. But before that, over to the Rev.
Thank you, Mr Howe. Good morning, everyone. This is the day the church remembers Mary Slessor. She was a missionary in West Africa in the 19th century. She came from a very poor background, but believed that God had a special job for her to do. She proved to be a fantastic linguist and learned many local dialects. She won the great respect of the people, and she served in Nigeria, and she tackled local customs that the region itself had tried to outlaw for many years, including, unbelievably, the belief that twins were unlucky and one twin should be killed. She was a remarkable woman, well worth reading about. So let us pray. Heavenly Father, we remember the great dedication of Mary Slessor. Help us to see how we can make a difference in the lives of others, even through a simple act of kindness. Help us to help others in this time of lockdown. Amen.
Thank you, Rev. Now, just a little bit of an academic summary for the exam year groups. Even though last week it was announced that GCSEs and A-levels would not take place in their usual format, it's not quite the same as saying that GCSEs and A-levels are cancelled. And it's becoming increasingly clear that there will be some form of exams taking place in summer term. How they will look is still to be confirmed, but I've no doubt that there will definitely be something in place. Now, the Cambridge International Exam Board has announced that it will continue to run its exams. This means that nothing has changed in the number of IGCSEs and A-level subjects. At GCSE, English, Maths, French, Spanish and History will be exactly the same, and also Cambridge Board A-level and Geography and Media Studies unchanged. So at the moment in those subjects, the exams will proceed as normal. Now, there was an article in the Sunday Times, I hope you can see this, in the Sunday Times yesterday, with the title, "Pupils to Sit Mini Summer Exams Marked by Their Own Teachers." The teachers might not be terribly keen to hear that, but the good news, I think, for you is that there will be internal exams which will be designed by the exam boards, but marked by your teachers in all likelihood. In some subjects where you can put a portfolio of work together, that can be submitted and then internal assessment take place. It also finished this article by saying that consultation proposals would be published this week. Therefore, it's going to take a while to see exactly what it comes through, but more than anything else, it's very clear that what you're working towards are exams in summer term. Our plans for the rest of the term are as follows. You're just going to have normal assessments as you would normally have for progress reviews and just testing you as you go along, all the same. We will hold mocks because we've had to postpone our mocks. We will hold mocks when you're back in school. That's based on the assumption that you will be back after the half-term break. And then in summer term, there will definitely be some form of exams taking place. So as it stands, you'll definitely have another set of mocks and then serious exams in summer term. So if you're wondering what you're working towards, it's exams in the summer. There is an expression, control the controllables. There's no point you focusing on unnecessary speculation. Focus on what you can control, which is just your day-to-day learning and your positivity. Let me, Mr Brown and Mr Jones, deal with any developments, and we will absolutely pass on to both pupils and parents any further information as soon as we have it. But above all, I just ask all the pupils, just trust your teachers. They have been doing an amazing job up to now, and they will guide you. But it's also really important that you're doing exercise and you're having fun and learning lots with the other things that you're doing at school. So we have three very important people who are going to tell you about three particular things that would be great for you to get involved with. I'm going to start by going to Mr Curran.
Good morning, everyone. I'm here to advertise a brilliant project that will help you escape from the rigours of your academic work during the course of the week, and to get in touch with the expressive side of yourself. So, following the success of our virtual rock choir back in term 1, I'd like to open this up to pupils in all year groups and invite you to get in touch with me if you have a real love of singing, if you just enjoy singing in the shower or have been part of choirs before and want to get in touch with other people to sing current songs. Rehearsals will take place weekly, every Wednesday, and in a change to the published time out in the bulletin last week, which was 7 to 7:30 on a Wednesday night. Rehearsals are now going to take place during the day at lunchtime from 12:25 until 5 to 1. And that change was driven by the people already signed up to rock choir because they wanted the opportunity to enjoy something creative during the day and then switch off after school at the end of the day. So if you're interested in getting in touch about rock choir, please send me an email, or if you know Mrs. Kench's email, it's jkench@shiplake.org.uk. I look forward to hearing from you soon.
Thank you very much, Mr. Curran, and a lovely Santorini background there, making us all dream about this summer. Mrs. Farrell is going to speak to you about something in drama, I believe. So over to Mrs. Farrell.
Thank you, Mr. Howe. Good morning, everybody. Similar to Mr. Curran, I'm about to launch with you something that will hopefully inject a little bit of creativity, a little bit of fun, and a little bit of ridiculousness in your school week. So we're launching a competition with you, which will run across this half term. Now, if you'll allow me just to share my screen so I can introduce it a little bit more clearly for you. So the concept we have developed is called Seen It at Shiplake. And in essence, this is a competition for every member of the Shiplake school community. It is up to you, ladies and gentlemen, pupils, staff and parents, to set yourselves a task of recreating the advertising poster or a picture of an iconic scene from your favourite film. If you're feeling super creative and a bit adventurous, maybe you could create a video of an iconic scene from your favourite film. I've given you some examples here that obviously lockdown has inspired lots of creativity for people who have been at home, bored, or just wanted to do something a little bit different. And this picture on the right-hand side is a mother and father and their 2-year-old son who spent weekly efforts in recreating scenes from their favourite movies. Now, there are lots of examples, there are lots of routes you can go down. You can create the posters, you can create scenes, and using things from around your home. As you can see, this family with their 2-year-old son have gone really all out with cardboard, paper, and everything else that they can find. We've got Forrest Gump here. We've got many efforts at Star Wars, Lion King, the classic, and some others for you to have a look at. So, I challenge you, Shiplake College, to have a go at this yourself, to get the family together, get your pets involved, get your parents, get your siblings involved, and recreate some pictures from your favourite movies and submit them to me at efarrell@shiplake.org.uk. I can't wait to see those coming through, and of course there will be prizes for the most creative, the most inventive, and of course the most ridiculous. And so get involved, send them through. The competition will run right until this half term, so you've got plenty of time to get creative and get everyone involved.
Mrs. Farrell, that sounds absolutely magnificent. How am I going to get work done this week? I'm going to be racking my brains and scenes to come up with. I've had a message from Mr. Curran just saying that teachers are also very welcome to join the virtual rock choir, because he's had a few messages asking. So I mean, rock choir and Seen It at Shiplake, 2 amazing initiatives, and thank you both for putting those on. Also, Mr. Bowden, I mentioned him right at the start of assembly, is running a Strava challenge, which can get us all involved as well. So over to Mr. Bowden to tell us more about it.
Thank you, Mr. Howe. As you mentioned there, so this Saturday we restarted the lockdown Shiplake Park Run, and an amazing active Saturday from the whole Shiplake community. Through the Shiplake Strava Club, activities were flooding in throughout the day from current and former staff, old Vikings, parents of students, and of course the students themselves. We had a range of activities from runs, walks, cycles, Zwifts, so the online version of the cycling, and even a swim in there as well. The total distance from the Shiplake community on Saturday was 1,032 kilometres. And I'm working with Mr Brown and Rev to look at a challenge that we're going to look to set with the lockdown Saturdays of getting from Shiplake College to Kikinduku Primary School in Kenya, which is 7,050 kilometres away. So this leaves us with 4 Saturdays left before half term. So at the moment, slightly behind schedule in terms of where we need to be, but we've managed to travel the equivalent distance from the school to just outside of Monaco with regards to the activities from Saturday, which is terrific. I just want to highlight a few top performers and a few highlights from Saturday just gone. So in terms of the different activities, we had Toby Graham with the longest cycle with 82 kilometres, who is a former staff member. Joe Tucker, an old Viking, did the longest run with 22k. Our current music administrator, Mrs. Reinach, did the longest swim, and actually the only one to do a swim, but well done to her. Alex Tang in year 10 was our longest walker, and we had Jacob Kirby, also an old Viking, on Zwift with 40k done there. Also a couple of highlights, Mr Bradley going out with his son for the first run with his son, the Bell family with their going out for a walk. Also the Morgan family were very active throughout the day. And Mr Brown and his son going out together for their run, which is terrific. Well done to everyone involved who'd gone for some activity last Saturday. If you want to get involved, please join the Shiplake College Strava Club. You'll be granted access to that following a request, and then look to get out and do some exercise of some form next Saturday and the Saturdays throughout this lockdown to add into that total. As I said, I'm working with the Rev and Mr Brown in terms of the final details of maybe looking to do some fundraising for the primary school in Kenya, and more details about that will be sent out in due course. Also, finally, just please do share any photos of your activity with the marketing department on marketing@shiplake.org.uk. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr Bowden. I already am thinking about a Forrest Gump outfit for next Saturday, just to nail the Strava and also get us in it at Shiplake for Mrs Farrell, maybe humming a rock tune to myself while I'm at it. Thank you so much to those 3 teachers. It's teachers who drive this, but at pupils, they need you to engage. So please, we're putting whatever we can on. Your academics are strong. We've got music, we've got drama, we've got sport. Please engage with it. Mr Brown, you were mentioned there. You look very, very fit and well after your run at the weekend. Over to you for a quick pastoral update.
Thank you, Headmaster. I feel absolutely fine this morning. Not. You will all, pupils, have had an email from me last week about the mood tracker, which will be familiar to many of you. Please engage with that. It doesn't take long, but it's very, very important that we know how you feel. Despite the distance, despite the fact that we're not seeing you face to face, we are still here to support you in every possible way that we can. But we need to know how you feel. So please have a go at the tracker if you haven't already done so. Don't worry too much about the list of tutors. I know it's not entirely up to date. Your housemasters will get your responses and they will pass them on to your tutors. For us, it's a really important way of keeping in touch with you. And don't forget, you can email us as well if you'd rather do that. But we're here to listen. We're here to support you in any way we possibly can. I included a list in that email of things that you can do. There are now 3 more things that you can do to improve your mental health and your well-being. You can sing, you can act, and you can run. What wonderful ways to improve your well-being. So please, please, please engage with those fantastic things. Thanks, Headmaster.
Thank you very much, Mr Brown, and a very important message for everybody. Now, one of the great things that's come out of lockdown has been the way in which so many people within our school community have come up with ideas to keep us connected. One of those is the family quiz, which runs on a Friday night, which Mr Settle runs with his wife. There was a great question last Friday evening, which was, according to YouGov, what are the top 10 things that people set New Year resolutions for? So I'm just going to give you 30 seconds just to have a little think, a mental list of how many things you think you can get on that list of 10 New Year's resolutions. Okay, 30 seconds up. In no particular order, do more exercise or improve your fitness. Lose weight. Improve your diet or eat more healthily. Saving money. Spending more time with family and friends. Pursuing a career or an ambition. Decorating or renovating at home. Taking up a new hobby. Spending less time on social media. Cutting down on alcohol. Well, my wife and I have set, I suppose, 2 New Year's resolutions. The first one was that we were going to try what's known as dry January. Now, for those of you that are not aware of what dry January is, that means that we do enjoy a glass of wine from time to time, maybe a beer, maybe a gin and tonic with friends, but we've pledged to not let any alcohol touch our lips for 1 whole month. And we also want to do a little bit more exercise and get a bit fitter. Surely this can't be that difficult. Well, my wife doesn't know that I'm going to disclose this to the whole Shiplake College community, but on Friday evening, she had a gin and tonic followed by a glass of wine. She even offered me a glass. Disgraceful. And of course I said no, and I'm still going strong. But as many of you will know and have experienced, New Year's resolutions are notoriously difficult to keep. So I looked into it and I did a bit of research, and some of the advice that has been given on how best to keep New Year's resolutions, they're actually really good advice for learning and for a school environment as well. So I'm just going to share a couple of tips with you for New Year's resolutions, which if you think about our school, how they might be applied to your learning. First of all, it's okay to set a big goal, but you have to break it down into small enough steps, little tiny steps, achievable steps as you go along. You also need to understand, this is interesting, why you shouldn't make a change. And what this means is that you boost your chance of success when you weigh up the pluses and minuses to make adopting a new behavior more attractive than not doing it. So, you know, I'm trying to do a little bit more fitness, the pluses and minuses, but the great plus is it puts me on good form. And that outweighs all of the hassles of doing it. Hence, that's something that I'm trying to keep going. The third tip is to commit yourself. Make yourself accountable through a written or verbal promise to people that you don't want to let down. And I've told you my New Year resolution to the whole school. Give yourself a medal as you manage or achieve a small step. Give yourself a reward because it acts as encouragement. Another tip, learn from the past. When you hit a bump in the road, because it's not easy, what worked for you the last time? What didn't work for you the last time? How can you give yourself a better chance this time? And finally, give thanks for what you do. Forget perfection. If your goal is to go out for 30 minutes of exercise, or if you want to do 30 minutes of prep and you manage 20 minutes, well, 20 minutes is better than nothing. So those are the tips for how to keep a New Year's resolution, and also I think have lots of relevance for learning and for the situation that you're in at the moment. And I'll let you know next Monday how I am getting on. So I hope everybody has a good day who's celebrating a birthday this week. If we are putting our minds to it, every one of us can have a good week this week. So keep smiling, keep engaging with everything that we're trying to do here at school, keep supporting each other, and have a great week.